What's going on YouTube? This is What Would Josh Do, and today we've got an exciting little video. It should be short and sweet. Hopefully, that's my famous last words. We're going to unbox, test, and run through the protocols of this cute little charger. I've had it for a little bit. I haven't made the video yet. This was sent to me for free. I did not pay for this unit. They're not paying me anything to make this video. Let's get started. So this is the UGREEN Uno. It's a cute little robot. The standby does a face, so if it's not charging anything, fast charging makes a funny little face there. And then trickle charging, it's like meaning like a very slow charge or fully charged. The eyes are just, you know, two of them right there. So this is a 100 watts. It's got 3 USB-C, 1 USB-A, up to 100 watts. UGREEN does have much more powerful chargers if you need more than 100 watts, but it doesn't have a cute little face that changes depending on what's happening with the charger. It does have GaN technology, thermal guard. It'll charge a MacBook Pro 16 2023 60 minutes to 81% charge. It does have power delivery, quick charge, SCP, and PPS. PPS is for you Samsung folks that really want to see that super fast charging when you plug in your phone. And a lot of other phones, such as Google Pixels, benefit from that as well. There's some additional information on the back if you want to read any of that for yourself, such as the standards and the compatibilities. All right, let's open this thing up. Alrighty. Well, this thing does weigh a little bit, but it's cute. That's a hefty thing. It's possibly a little bit heavier than this thing. We'll see. I have a scale. We'll measure it. I actually started filming the next video and totally forgot about the weight. I'm glad the scale was sitting right next to me because I forgot all about it. So we're going to weigh this little guy. He weighs 258 grams. Even when standing up, I knew it shouldn't change, but 258 grams. The little feet, wow, okay, so the little feet actually add some grams. That's interesting. You're actually losing a little bit of weight when you take the feet away. So 244, put them back on, and it should weigh 258 once it settles down. Regardless, we'll still call it 258. There we go, 258. Oh, man. And then I said, you know, this one is about the same. Oh, okay, so that's significantly more at 312. All right, so it doesn't come with a cable. That's interesting, but almost everything else does, so I have a crap ton of cables. Oh, there is some information here. Hi, I'm UGREEN Uno RG. I can't wait to recharge, regenerate, and rejuvenate your batteries. That's cute. That's funny. It's clever. All right. And then also, there's the UPC on the bottom and the model number in case you have trouble finding this in the future. All right, so we've got the cute little guy here. It's got a little, oh, that was satisfying. And yes, if you watch my videos, you know I don't normally peel those off. So it looks like it's got earmuffs. Those look like earmuffs. And then we have the USB-C, which let's go ahead and look at those. So the top one, USB-C 1, that looks to be the most powerful port. Possibly. They might be even. We're actually going to test that. So that's exciting. So it looks like these two are going to be your most powerful ports. And then this one's going to be like to charge up a phone or a smaller device if those two are being used. So I do also want to test and see if this thing is as equal to those, if nothing's plugged in. We're going to find out. We're going to test these things, okay? That's what we do here. That's what makes these videos a little bit longer. So we got little feet. So that's cool. That's so awesome. So in storage, it can just stand up like this. I guess you could also lay it down or like that, but little feet. So try not to lose those. If you ever see something around your house, if you ever see some small feet laying around your house and you're wondering what the heck these things are, it goes on the little guy there. So it's his little feet. There you go. All right. So, hi, I'm UGREEN Neo. I'm going to turn this thing back on and see if you can see the little animation there. Hi, I am UGREEN Uno. 100 watts. Oh, smiley, just happy little guy, just waiting to charge your device. Just so excited, can't wait. Oh, that's kind of cute, man. That's adorable. It's just like, it's just happy to see you. You know, it's glad you're there. All right, let's plug up that USB-C 3. I'm curious about that one. So we'll plug that in. And then we've got our UGREEN 130 watt power bank here. It's at 40%, so it'll charge pretty quickly. So based on what I'm seeing, if you use that third USB-C port, even with nothing plugged in, you're going to get 30 watts maximum. So that's going to be a port you want to use to charge up a phone, maybe your iPad or your Samsung tablet or something that, you're happy with seeing 30 watts or less. If you plug up a laptop or a high-powered power bank, you're going to want to use the other ports, obviously, because then you're going to charge much faster. So if we just simply change to this USB-C port here, we're now able to do up to 20 volts and 5 amps. This power bank can only charge at a maximum of 65 watts. All right, so we'll use another 240 watt cable, and we're going to plug in that other USB-C port here, and we're going to plug up their bigger 200 watt charger, which still only charges at 65 watts, I believe. All right, so it looks like after switching them, we only get 65 on one and 30 on the other. So that's going to give us close to 100 watts, but it doesn't look like it's going to split that power evenly. It's going to immediately tank the wattage of the other one, and you can see the total output of the wall is 107 right now. So that's interesting. I was thinking it would make this one 50 and make this one 50, but it does not do that. All right, so I want to test what happens when we have one charging at 65, one charging at 30, and we connect up a third port, which is a 100 watt UGREEN cable, and to this little guy right here. I don't have a third tester, so we'll just connect up this guy right here. And you can see our total output from the wall is currently at 90 watts. This guy's still charging at 30, which hasn't changed. This one has now lowered to 45 at its maximum. And this thing's getting 11 volts and 5 watts. So that's pretty slow. And then we'll use that USB-A and we'll charge up our iPhone. Also, unrelated to this video at all. So if you watch my last disaster video installing a screen protector, on Black Friday, I ordered a D-brand screen protector, my very first D-brand thing ever. Never bought from D-brand before, and I did a much better job because theirs was idiot-proof. And yeah, I have no bubbles. It looks absolutely fantastic. And my screen is actually clearer now because before I tried to wash the screen protector and reapply it because it had a bunch of dust in it. It didn't work as planned. So I have a brand new screen protector and it looks a lot better than what was on there before. So my phone is charging now. And it's actually charging decently. Like, it's charging at 7 watts, which isn't bad at all. I know it's going to be hard for you to see, maybe. No, you can see that. 7.2 watts. So that's not too bad at all. We've got 105 watts coming out. This is still getting 30. This is still getting 45. And this is still getting, well, actually, now it changed to 5 volts, 2 amps. So it's getting 10 watts now, which is better than it was before at 11 volts and getting just 4 watts. So that's not too bad. We're pushing this thing as hard as it can be pushed. And we've got 4 things charging. This is actually going to charge at a pretty decent speed, 45 watts. This is going to charge at a pretty decent speed of 30 watts. This taking 10 watts. It's a smaller power bank, so it might actually finish in time with these. And my phone receiving 7 watts. Like, everything might actually charge and finish around the same time. So if you needed to charge a whole lot of things at once, you could totally make it happen with this guy. Now, if we disconnect the USB-A, we disconnect that right here, and we switch this. So now we have just these 2 things charging. Okay, so it's similar to before. That USB-C 1 port is going to get more power, which is 65 watts, than the second port. The second port's going to get 30 watts, what seems to be every time. If I had something that drew less than 65 watts, I don't know if it would split it more evenly. This is just my test case scenario I have here. So like, if I just simply swap these 2 things around, so now the second port is this guy. Yeah, see? 30 watts maximum on that one now. And this one's getting the priority. It's getting 65 watts. All right, so we're going to run the test now, and on the right, we've got the lower port, which is the lesser port. It's going to give the 30 watts, and on the left here, we've got the more powerful port, 65 watt port. So we're going to run these tests at the same time, and we're going to see what we see. And then I'm going to back out, and I'm going to run the test again. So charging protocols, be ready, auto detect. And we're going to let these things do its thing. Remember, the right one is the second port. The left one is USB-C 1. And right away we see that this charger actually supports the newest ultra-fast charging protocol, which is exciting. And that's actually the fastest I've ever seen that new protocol. That's 63 watts. So the one on the right's already done, which we have quick charge 2 and 3. And then we have SCP, AFC, SFCP, and then more importantly, the PD3, which shows that we do get PPS. 5 to 11 volts at 2.75. So we should see super fast charging on that 30 watt port there. That's pretty exciting. And then yeah, 20 volts at 1.5 amps. And now we'll focus on this guy, which is the more powerful port. And we'll go to the ultra fast charging. There you go. 11 to 21 volts at up to 3 amps. And then we got quick charge 3, FCP, SCP, AFC, SFCP, TFCP. What? Yeah, we've got a lot going on here. All right, and then on that left port, this one's still plugged in, and it still has its protocols up. So there you go. I'm going to focus on this left one here. So the left one shows 65 watts, PPS 5 to 11 volts at 4.5 amps. So that should get us that super fast charging 2.0, but then we get 20 volts at up to 3.25 amps. You can see all that data there for yourself. That's pretty exciting. Now, what happens when we only use USB-C 2 with nothing plugged into USB-C 1? All right, so we have USB-C 2 only plugged in, nothing else is plugged in. And yeah, we have quick charge 2, 3, FCP, SCP, AFC, SFP. Yeah, we got a lot here. And it looks like that port can actually do 100 watts when nothing else is plugged into it. So we have 5 to 21 volts at 5 amps. So that's going to make a lot of you out there happy to see that, because a lot of chargers I test can do 5 to 11 volts at 5 amps. This can do up to 21 volts. So that's crazy. This has an awesome PPS range. Now, all we're going to do is switch it from port 2 to port 1 and go back, auto detection, and run that again. And look at that. We see that the top port is definitely the better port. We've got that new charging protocol on that top one. There's a whole lot going on here. This is a very packed charger. My gosh. So I've never used that, but there's the stats for it. That's the newest protocol. Then we got quick charge 3, FCP, SCP, AFC, FCP, TFCP, and then more importantly, we've got that PD3. And yeah, so 5 to 21 volts at 5 amps and up to 20 volts 5 amps. So wow, okay. This is a very, very capable charger. Like, this has a lot of protocols, more protocols than I've seen from competitors. And that's not saying, you know, this is better than the competitors, but I mean, if you need ultra fast charging, this seems to be the charger for you. I don't have very many other words to say. Like, that's awesome. And I'll just click through these for those of you that really want to see what like TFCP is. I've never used that I'm aware of. And then AFC, that's the standard 12 volts, 2 amps. And then SCP, so there's that data as well. And then FCP, this is crazy, man. There's so much going on with this little charger here. So yeah, we tested it with 2 chargers plugged in, and we're going to get 65 watts max on USB-C 1 and 30 watts max on USB-C 2. If you only use USB-C 2, you're going to get the 100 watts, but you're not going to get the ultra fast charging protocol. So what that's telling me is always use port 1. That's going to be the best port. If you need to use the other ports, then so be it. Let's just try. I'm curious. This is my last test. I know this video got way longer than I intended it to be, but nothing else is plugged in. We're trying that port. That's the third one. I want to see what protocols it has. Okay, so that third charging for USB-C, it's actually great. It's fantastic. So we have quick charge 3, FCP, SCP, AFC, SFCP. PD3 is up to 30 watts. It does have PPS range, 5 to 11 volts at 2.75 amps. And yeah, so that's awesome. That's fantastic. All right, so we're looking at right at the 30-minute mark before editing this video right now. And we have one more test to do. Now, I get requested a lot about the USB-A port. I never use USB-A, but there are apparently a lot of you that do. And sometimes USB-A on some devices is actually really, really good. So we've got this tester, and we're basically going to run through and see what it says. So we're going to go to fast charging, and we're going to see what protocols this thing has. Oh my, okay, so it's already got way more than most of the USB-A things I test. All right, dang, that's pretty cool. Let's go ahead and let that run one more time. Yeah, so, okay. If based on what I'm seeing and what I'm testing, this thing is capable. It's in a neat little package. Oh, please don't go away. Please don't go away. That is so cute. Looks like it's like almost whistling or something. That's actually adorable. And there you have it. We're charging this power bank at 65 watts using USB-C 1. There's no problem with us switching it to USB-C 2, except we lose at least one charging protocol, but it will go to up to 100 watts. And this little guy is just so excited to be charging whatever he's charging. Looks like he's like whistling or something, I don't know. But it's cute, it's adorable. I want to thank you so much for sticking around and watching this longer video. I really thought it was going to be short and sweet, but it took a minute to get through all the tests, which hopefully you're a nerd like me, and those tests were, you know, something you would have never gotten from reading just an Amazon review or looking at some pictures of the product. And yeah, fantastic little guy. I actually recommend it. That's awesome. That's solid. And you'll be seeing this in some future videos when I need to charge some other stuff up. That's just adorable. It's so cute. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up. I'd greatly appreciate it. It helps the YouTube algorithm and it recommends this video to other people. Helps the channel out more than you possibly could imagine. Please follow me on Twitter and Instagram if you want to keep up to date. I also post on my YouTube community page. This is what Josh do, and I am out.